StarSim Mining Conglomerate, we've launched the first version back on June 9th. Version 1.01 launched on June 26th, I believe. That fixed some of the initial issues and added a few other features. We're in the process right now of working towards update 1, which is going to add a whole bunch of pretty awesome features that are coming out. We're going to do the 2 trailers next, and then we'll hop into a direct play of the current progress on update 1 right afterwards. So, you got this, Sile. So for those unaware on StarSim Mining Conglomerate, currently we are on the first module of StarSim, which its overall goal is to get a full space sim into Starfield. Mining Conglomerate is focusing on mining, space mining, and so the version that's currently available now focuses on asteroids and working for Argos. And Xylo is about to start up the phase 1 where we're at right now on that update, which is slated for in the near future, which will be heavily expanding out the amount of mining options as well as a lot more tweaks to how everything works.
Yeah, I can do that whenever, if we're ready now.
Yep, let's give it a shot.
So.
All right. So this is Starfield.
What do we want to show first?
Mining lasers would be a good one on the ship technician.
Hey, I need to talk.
Need some work done? Okay, no problem.
So.
Alright, so as of right now, Silo is currently, I think I just passed one. Should be a few. There we go. Commercial. Yep. So you're going to have a wide range of mining equipment that'll be in the current version coming out. Different mining companies will be creating different versions of mining lasers and other mining equipment. A lot of this will have sort of the personality of the company behind it in terms of some companies look at getting the best yield, doing the most damage, and many different versions of these weapons. So currently we have them hooked into the game. We're still in the process of getting all the final assets in for them. But this will be something that is a major part of the next update to give you sort of an ability to specialize your own mining rig when you're out in space. So yeah, right now we have the 3 different versions, it looks like right now. We're going to be expanding that out quite a bit. There's also going to be a lot more equipment besides the mining lasers, as we'll get to in a few more parts later on. So yeah, mining lasers good. And this update should have a substantial amount of equipment to work with. Zyla, where would you like to go? To the eye? Be a good spot to go to.
Yeah. Actually, I can just fast travel that guy.
That would work, yeah. Alright, so this is Starfield's loading screen. Alright, there we go. Alright, if you want to hop out of the pilot seat and go over to the mapping. That chair is slow.
Yeah.
Okay, major feature that we are working on now. We're still, again, building the assets for this. This is our 3D mapping system. This will go and automatically map anything within the space orbit you're currently at, and it's close to real time, about as close as we can get to Papyrus. So if you want to turn that on real quick. All right. So obviously no final assets. We needed to find a bunch of things that weren't going to be affected by gravity. So the dart is the station, that is the eye. The thing right in the middle is the player ship, and the 2 moving statues are the 2 ships that are flying around the station. Now this system is really important. This is going to be the ability for you to go through and survey, which is a major part of this recent update. You'll be able to survey the asteroids in a certain location to tell you what the yield is. Argos will be having different missions as they're looking for certain yields of certain type of resources. You'll be able to fly to an asteroid field, and this works on any asteroid field, including the ones that we build. There'll be a survey button on here, and then it'll basically do a scan of all asteroids within range, and then give you the yields, and you'll be able to actually interact. In fact, Sila, interact with one of the ships there real quick. Then when you're interacting, you will get all the information from whatever object you're interacting with, weapons, what kind of stats on the ship itself. We'll have updates in the future that will go and show you what is potentially in their cargo. If they have any crew members, these will all be modules you can build onto your ship to get more information around whatever you're interacting with. For asteroids, and we'll get to gas mining in a moment, that will be the yields. For ships and stations, you'll get information that's unique to each of those. This is still a work in progress system, but so far it's working very well. Loving how this is going to play out. And this is big. A lot of us in the team come from a lot of other space sims. And, you know, the mapping, when you get to an orbit, you push the zoom button, and we lost the station. Also, there's a zooming system that we're still building out on these. But we need our final assets in there because these all do have gravity if you do things just right. And you can zoom in and out, which Zyla is doing right now.
They're going out.
And you lost them. But this is very important because right now, in terms of mapping, you really have star system, galaxy, the planet, and nothing in between. This will be one of our first systems where it's all just right in the game. You can go and map and see everything that's in your area, including your player, find out where you are. So if you're trying to find a certain station or a certain object, it'll all be centralized here. So it's quick and easy access to do whatever you're trying to do. Let's see. We got our 3D mapping. How about... Yeah, still work in progress. Why don't you show them a star, Zyla? That's one of your favorites, right? You love your wolf one. Yep. And here we are in the new gas mining mechanism we're building in right now. So multiple stars throughout are going to be outputting pretty hazardous gases being fired off from the stars, and you will now be able to fly into them and mine them with a scooping mechanism and equipment that we're building out right now. This is still also work in progress, but we're going to add this to a handful of stars to start. and Argos will also be sending you in. Now, we don't have the hazard mechanism in here yet, which will damage your ship, but these are dangerous, and we'll have equipment built in that you'll put on your ship. If you go to these without it, you will basically pretty much be dead very quickly. With the equipment on there, you'll have enough time to go in there, mine for a while, and various qualities of this equipment will give you more time in here before you need to get out. But this will be one of the bigger features being added into Mining Conglomerate moving forward. And we're going to have lots of little secrets in here since you don't really have a good view while flying through here. This is where the 3D mapping will help you out quite a bit. You can go through and look at the 3D mapping to kind of find objects floating around here so you don't run into asteroids, debris, unfortunate souls who tried to do this and didn't put the equipment on. So there'll be some interesting stuff you'll find within these places. But this is a big one for the gas mining. This will go and supplement asteroids for you to find various resources in space, and also add more equipment you'll be able to go and purchase over time. All right, Silent, why don't we head on over to the Argos's HQ, and we'll look at some of the new terminal stuff that we're working on.
It's in Jemison, isn't it?
You got it. This is actually a recent change. Sarah, who's our lead on the project, just built the system and tweaked it as of the last few days.
Yeah, we can jump directly into this one.
Yeah, that's not going to work well. And now we're dead. If you want to dock on the station, and let's go take a look. Ooh. And instantly dock. Part of our recent tests we're seeing, can we blend different types of terminals in the same one? And oh, congratulations, you completed a quest. Good job. Go to the return to desktop. So now we're blending the different types of terminals in here to make things a little bit cleaner. In the first version that's currently available, all of the bulletin board system and the player mail and all these things are kind of embedded into the what they call kiosk mode. This one now makes things a lot cleaner. So if you can go into the settled systems mail system. Now everything coming in that's sent to you has different folders. So if you are getting wonderful spam or scam emails that are in the game, they're now going to be pushed in here. Any other mail coming in that's part of what we are currently working on, as well as the Settled Systems News Network, will get pushed to this, so you can go and get updated on everything that you've done in the game, as well as different events that will happen over time through StarSim. Folders will also be set up for anything specific to a certain station. So if there's something important about a faction that controls the station, they will have all that built in. Now, if you can go back and go to the player mail.
Oops.
All right, go back in there. Yep. Yeah, mail system. You're right. And then go to the, let's see here. Yeah, go back to Argos. You're good. And then select one of the mail things, and it doesn't matter which one you pick. Just pick one of them. So you can now also, one of the features folks were asking for, delete messages that have been sent to you, so they're not there forever. So delete one. There you go. And now it's gone. So like a traditional email, you can now clear the messages out. So if you've read them, you don't want to keep them in there anymore, get them out of there. So we'll be expanding this out quite a bit. We found ways to integrate with the SSNN to pull in stuff that you do within the game. All stations will hook into the system. Other mods, creations, Zyla, can hook into this as well and push their mail through here, either the mail system or the bulletin board, which if you go to the bulletin board system, this one also will have specifics to the station itself. So you'll have your unique to the station and the one that is shared across the entire network in the settled systems. Return to desktop. And then go to station interface.
Oops.
Whoop. Top left.
That's it. Yeah, I guess.
And go to mission board. Mission board is in progress of getting updated with a lot more changes. So this is still the one that you would have access to in version 1.01. Why don't we try Protect Station Hard? One of your favorites, Sila. Let's see what's going to...
Ship is outfitted for that.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Where's this heading us to? All right, we're heading over to Deepala. All right. Oh, you're about to hit the station. There you go. And
That's
these missions at Narian.
What's Narian? Oh wait, it shows up.
Uh-huh. One of the features that were added into version 1.01 was that very hard missions may actually send capital ships in from enemy factions. This one is implemented in the current version that's out right now, and we'll be expanding this out quite a bit. So for folks that enjoy space combat, certain missions, and we're going to be expanding the mission system out quite a bit. Oh. Well, normally it's working. We'll have to check into that. I know I tested that before. Normally, we would have capital ships spawning right now and attacking the station, but looks like we still got some more work to do from recent changes we made. I'll have to double check on that. But version 1.01 currently does have spacer capital ships that will attack whatever location that is selected for the missions, either Deepala, which is here at the asteroid station. Actually, head over to the mobile base, because that's going to help you out. If you're not very combat oriented, Argos does have a mobile base in each of the areas that could be possibly attacked. You can use that as cover. It's not nearly as strong as the ones that attack, but it will give you cover and it will help fight back. Jemison's one will start having actual UC military. It is orbiting Jemison, the capital of the UC, so you'll see a lot more that's there, which will also mean that the attacks on that area will be ramped up quite a bit. But we will definitely need to investigate recent updates. The missions aren't starting up, so plenty more to do, but we are getting there in terms of gas mining. One other thing that we can't show in this one because it's still being built is mining script. So as you do missions for Argos and future mining companies that are part of the storyline, you will be paid in mining script. That is a resource that you can then use to purchase unique upgrades that are offered by the factions themselves. This is how you will be able to access most of the mining lasers, the mining scoops needed for gas mining, and everything else that they do. So this will add more to doing multiple missions over time. This update will also be adding in gas mining, surveying, and a handful of other mission types that will be going active, and a few other surprises and secrets that we will not be able to show right now, but you will find when it goes live. So that is the current breakdown of Phase 1. We are aiming to have this launch in the near future. There's still a bit of artwork necessary and then some systems. Once those are good, then we will definitely be pushing this update and getting this out to everybody as soon as we can. And all their asteroids are dead.
2 sets of lasers is pretty powerful.
Very effective.
Oh, well, Zyla flies around destroying asteroids. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, it's going to take you a year. Well, now it's the mining lasers.
That's going to take the rest of the 30 minutes.
Jeez.
I can see how much it has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
Is...
It's going to take you quite a while. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody got any questions at all related to StarSim overall, mining Conglomerate? we'll go over in the next part kind of where we are going to take all projects across the board for Quarter Onion. We got a lot in the pipeline. So, yeah. There's no questions.
We do have the predefined questions if you want to answer those.
Sure.
Came
Yeah,
in
the
from
ones.
earlier.
Yep, the ones that were sent over like the last few weeks. Yeah. Any of them you want to pass over? I could answer.
Does StarSim Mining Conglomerate work on an existing save?
Nope, does not. And will especially not moving forward. Because of the fact that we're generating new space cells, currently at least, that will result if you try to go and load this up with a weird scenario on how the game will work from that point forward. We've heard folks get it working, and we heard most folks not getting it working. So we basically say we only support a brand new game. Because right now, if you try to load it, it just doesn't work correctly. So we can't support on a save until those are fixed in the engine.
How many missions are needed to unlock the station management? That's still 25, right?
It is 25, but that's going to be temporary. The next update will keep that system going, and then the update afterwards, we begin the process of shifting that to the actual voice storyline. So the voice storyline will be in 2 chapters. That will remove that whole system that's in there right now and lead it into a proper storyline between Argos and a few other mining players within the universe.
Well, that just indirectly answered the next question about what our future plans are for the quest lines in Mining Conglomerate.
I knew you were going to ask that. I just had a feeling.
The final question was, how much playtime can we expect in Mining Conglomerate, and how repeatable is it?
Oh, depends. If you're just going into it as a storyline right now, you could go and knock out the 25 missions, get to the last part, and that's basically it. But in terms of replayability, what we're hearing a lot from folks is this is great for building up credits, just finding resources that are harder to find, and that's infinite replayability for those. Ship combat you can kind of have happen at will, so you don't have to go and. For me, I would go every time there was a reset and head to the key and blow up all the ships that were there, and then have to wait. And that was the only real threatening thing to my C-class battleship. Now you're going to end up with missions that will test how well you can actually go through and take ships out. And we will start adding more missions around that you'll be seeing potentially fleet versus fleet battles that you'll get sucked into and either support or whatever. So I'm a big proponent of building out space. And so this is the starting point. A lot of the roadmap will go over next. We're going to be taking space in all directions so that you could technically play the whole game in space and have something to do all the time. We have a question in the chat. Dendavia, any plans for building mines planet side and staffing them? So nothing currently, because StarSim's focus has been in space, but nothing technically stops that from being a possibility. One of the things that we'll be doing with StarSim in a future update will be building a special station that certain hub areas will have, and that station, 1, hooks to the things that are on that planet, and 2, provides an avenue for other creations artists or authors to interact with it. That would provide the angle to hook into something that's on that planet, but it's not something that we are currently aiming towards, since our focus really is building out space. That being said, a lot of the features that we're aiming towards for stations, where they would be staffed and you have different features on how you manage them, there's no reason why that same functionality couldn't be hooked into a mine that's on the planet. Oh yeah, here we go. So we're going to load up the asteroids, which is going to take quite a bit, because there's somebody who's currently streaming put 3,000 in this place last time. So it will take a little while for the Terrabrew cups to load up all the asteroids that's in this area. But yeah, nothing stops that. Our long-term goal is to have a completely functional space economy that economy will run everything even on the planet, which means that if you go to a vendor, that vendor is being stocked based on the space economy. Now, we've got a ways to go because we need to build that whole economy, and we're doing that in separate modules so we can focus on and perfect those functions. In this case right now, mining. And then as we'll go into in a moment on the roadmap, we will go into many other features that will basically fill out all of the raw resources into manufacturing, into station management, and then at the end, that will pull it all together so you have one cohesive economy for everything else to derive off of.
Anybody else have any more questions before we move on?
I think Dendavia's typed right
Yeah,
now.
I see that.
Yeah, that asteroid scan you just started, Xyla's going to take you a little while. Good answer, thank you. One follow-up, what about mining extra big asteroids from the inside? Oh, we've talked about it. There is definitely some hurdles. Bethesda themselves, there's some tests of trying to get like ships flying through the interior of an asteroid. It's definitely something that has been brought up. The problem we'd run into is figuring out the best way to do that in terms of collision with the ship, so the ship can actually get through the asteroid itself with the way that whole thing works. I think there's an avenue to do it. It's not currently on the pipeline, but if we can find a clean way to do that, that'd be awesome. Not even ignoring the mining part of it, just being able to go through an asteroid and have a station like inside an asteroid or something like that, or battles. Like there's so many different directions we can go if we can figure that out. That can be used for asteroids or really large stations that you can actually fly through and have stuff inside. The one thing that comes to mind for me, the EgoSoft Space Sims, the X series, they have the thing called the Xenon Hub, and it's a massive station that you're actually inside of, and it allows you to control navigation between different areas. But the interior is so large that it basically functions like you're flying around in space. And it'd be interesting to see if we can do that. But the question's always going to be, can we do it? Does the engine support that? And then we'll kind of go from there.